Most people didn't care about computer chips. They were boring, hidden inside machines. Nobody talked about them. Nobody invested in them. They were just there. But one man saw the future. He bet everything on graphics chips when everyone said he was crazy. He nearly went bankrupt. He was laughed at. He was dismissed. Today, his company is worth over $3 trillion. He's worth over $100 billion. And he controls the technology powering the AI revolution. This is Jensen Huang, the AI king, who built NVIDIA and changed the world by believing in chips nobody else wanted. The refugee who learned to survive, Jensen Huang, was born on February 17, 1963 in Tainan, Taiwan. Today, at 61 years old, he's worth over $100 billion and runs NVIDIA, the most valuable chip company on earth. But Jensen's story didn't start with billions. It started with escape and survival. When Jensen was 9 years old, his parents sent him and his older brother to live in the United States. Taiwan was unstable. His parents wanted their sons to have better opportunities. The brothers were sent to live with relatives in Kentucky. But there was a problem. The relatives sent them to a boarding school that was more like a reform school for troubled kids. For a year, Jensen lived in fear, fighting to protect himself and his brother. It was traumatic, but it toughened him. He once said, "That experience taught me I could survive anything. Pain doesn't scare me. Failure doesn't scare me. I've already been through worse." Eventually, Jensen's parents moved to Oregon, and the family reunited. Jensen attended Oregon State University, where he studied electrical engineering. He wasn't the smartest student. He wasn't the top of his class, but he was curious, hardworking, and obsessed with technology. After college, Jensen got a master's degree from Stanford and went to work at AMD and LSI Logic, two chip companies. He learned the semiconductor industry from the inside. He saw the technology. He understood the potential. And he started dreaming about building his own company. The risky bet on graphics. In 1993, at age 30, Jensen co-founded NVIDIA with two partners, Chris Malachowski and Curtis Priam. Each put in some savings. They had no office, no product, and no clear plan. The company name NVIDIA came from the Latin word invidia, meaning envy. They wanted to build technology people would envy. But what would they build? Jensen made a controversial decision, focused on graphics processing units, GPUs chips designed specifically for rendering images and video. At the time, this seemed insane. Graphics chips were a tiny niche market used mainly for video games. The real money was in central processing units, CPUs, the brains of computers. Investors were skeptical. One early investor said, "We told Jensen he was crazy. Why build chips for games when Intel dominates the real chip market?" But Jensen saw something others didn't. He believed graphics processing was the future of computing. For years, NVIDIA struggled. They built chips, but they were expensive and hard to sell. Competitors like 3DFX and ATI were beating them. By 1996, NVIDIA was almost bankrupt. They had one shot left: build a revolutionary chip or die. Jensen gathered his team and said, "We're 6 months from running out of money. This is our last chance. We succeed or we're done." They built the rival 128 chip. It was faster, cheaper, and better than anything on the market. It worked. The chip sold like crazy. NVIDIA survived. A former NVIDIA engineer recalled, "Jensen bet everything on that chip. If it failed, we all would have been out of jobs." But he was confident. He never doubted. The GeForce revolution. In 1999, NVIDIA launched the GeForce 256, the world's first true GPU. Before GeForce, graphics processing was handled by the computer's main CPU. GeForce changed everything by offloading graphics tasks to a dedicated chip. This made video games look better, run faster, and feel more immersive. Gamers loved it. NVIDIA exploded. By the early 2000s, NVIDIA dominated the graphics card market. GeForce became the gold standard for PC gaming. A gaming industry analyst said, "NVIDIA didn't just improve graphics. They created an entire ecosystem. Every serious gamer wanted a GeForce card." But Jensen wasn't satisfied. He knew graphics chips could do more than just render video games. He started pushing NVIDIA into new areas: scientific computing, artificial intelligence, data centers. Most people thought he was crazy again. Why would a gaming chip company get into AI? Jensen ignored them. He had a vision. The CUDA breakthrough. In 2006, NVIDIA launched CUDA, a platform that allowed developers to use GPUs for general-purpose computing, not just graphics. This was revolutionary. GPUs were extremely good at parallel processing, doing thousands of calculations simultaneously. That made them perfect for AI, machine learning, scientific simulations, and data analysis. But in 2006, AI wasn't popular yet. Nobody cared about machine learning. CUDA seemed like a solution looking for a problem. For years, NVIDIA invested billions in CUDA with almost no return. Investors were furious. A shareholder at the time said, "We told Jensen to stop wasting money on CUDA. Nobody was using it. It was draining resources." But Jensen refused to quit. He believed AI would explode someday, and when it did, NVIDIA would be ready. He later said, "I knew AI was coming. I didn't know when, but I knew it was inevitable. We had to be ready." The AI. Boom. That made him a king. In the early 2010s, researchers discovered that GPUs were perfect for training AI models. Suddenly, every AI lab, every tech company, every researcher needed NVIDIA GPUs. Google, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, they all bought NVIDIA chips by the thousands to power their AI systems. By 2016, AI was exploding. Self-driving cars, voice assistants, image recognition, all powered by NVIDIA GPUs. Jensen had been right all along. A tech journalist who covered the shift wrote, "Jensen spent a decade preparing for AI when nobody believed in it. When AI finally arrived, NVIDIA was the only company ready. That's genius." Then came ChatGPT in 2022. The AI revolution went mainstream. Every company on Earth suddenly needed AI, and they all needed NVIDIA's chips to run it. NVIDIA's stock skyrocketed. The company went from $300 billion in value to over $3 trillion in just 2 years. Jensen became one of the richest people on Earth. The leather jacket CEO Jensen Huang is one of the most recognizable CEOs in tech, and not just because of NVIDIA's success. He always wears a black leather jacket, always. At conferences, earnings calls, product launches, the leather jacket is his signature. A reporter once asked why. Jensen replied, "I don't have to think about what to wear. It's one less decision. I can focus on what matters." Jensen is also known for his intense, passionate keynote speeches. He doesn't just present products, he performs. At NVIDIA's annual GTC conference, Jensen takes the stage like a rock star, announcing new chips, new technologies, new breakthroughs. A tech blogger who attended said, "Jensen's keynotes feel like attending a concert. He's electric. He makes semiconductors exciting." Besides his wealth, Jensen is known to be humble and hardworking. He still works long hours. He's deeply involved in product development. A longtime NVIDIA employee said, "Jensen is a billionaire, but he's in the office constantly. He knows every product. He cares about every detail." Jensen is also fiercely loyal. Many NVIDIA executives have worked with him for decades. The legacy being built at 61, Jensen Huang is still running NVIDIA at full speed. There's no talk of retirement. He's positioned NVIDIA at the center of the AI revolution. Every major AI breakthrough depends on NVIDIA chips. Self-driving cars, medical diagnostics, climate modeling, drug discovery, generative AI, all powered by NVIDIA. Jensen is also pushing NVIDIA into new areas: robotics, the metaverse, autonomous systems, quantum computing. He's not resting on success. He's building the next wave. From a scared refugee in a reform school to the AI king worth over $100 billion. From a risky bet on graphics chips to the most valuable tech company on Earth. From rejection to revolution. That's the story of Jensen Huang, the man who believed in chips when nobody else did and built the future we're all living in today. If you enjoyed learning about Jensen Huang's journey from refugee to AI king who built a $3 trillion empire, let us know who we should profile next. The greatest fortunes come from seeing the future before anyone else, and we're revealing how they did it.